So today we're going to look at running total within a loop, which is a standard algorithm. Running total within a loop. But there's two types of loop, and this one is a fixed unconditional loop. So running total within a loop, within a fixed unconditional loop, and it's a standard algorithm. So here we are. Remember, when you open, you close a loop. You open a loop, you close a loop. For next. Now here we've got array fixed loops, unconditional loops are perfect for arrays. So we've got an array called number, and it's got 4 values, 10, 22, 30 and 38. So we set total to 0 before the loop starts. The for loop for counter equals 1 to len number. Now len here is a predefined function, which we're going to look again when we do the arrays in detail. And what length does is it counts how many values there are in the array. And there's 10, 22, 30 and 38, there's 4. That means the length of number is 4. So if we're counting from 1 to 4, and what do we do? Total equals total plus number counter. Now what that means is total equals total plus number counter. Number counter, number 1, number counter, if it was 1, would be 10. If it's 2, it's 22. If it's 3, it's 30. And if it's 4, it's 38. It's going to add it up. So let's try it. The first time the loop, when it's 1, total becomes 0 plus 10, total becomes 10. When it gets to 2, then total equals 10 plus 22, so it becomes 32. When it becomes 3, total becomes 32 plus 30, becomes 62. And when it becomes 4, total becomes 62 plus 38, which we can work out is 100. And that's us. We've used our predefined function, and we've did a running total within this fixed loop. We know how many times it's going to repeat. It's going to repeat 4 times. So now I've done it as a structured diagram. We start, set total to 0, set counter equals 1. We're going to repeat it on counter. We're going to repeat until counter equals the length of the number. And what we're going to repeat? We're going to repeat total equals total plus number counter, which if we notice up there, remember is 10, 22, 30, 38. And counter equals counter plus 1. So counter starts at 1, it loops, and total is 10. Counter becomes 2, it loops, total becomes 10 plus 22 is 32. Total becomes total plus number counter. That means 32 plus 30 is 62, and onwards as we did before. We've got it here. This statement, repeat until counter equals length number, that tells us this is a fixed loop, because we know how many times this is going to repeat itself. Here's a nice wee flowchart of the exact same problem. And as we've spoke through it here, flowcharts I think are a much easier option, but it's up to you. Flowcharts are the ones that we've been looking at. So we start, we set total to 0, we set counter equals 1. We say total equals total plus number counter, and then we check. And we've got a nice wee conditional statement here. Counter equals length number. Does counter equal the length of number? And if it does, then display total and finish. But if not, counter equals counter plus 1, which of course is an arithmetic operation. And we continue to loop. Remember, I've put in the rhombus here shape when I should have put a diamond shape. Counter equals length of number should be in a diamond shape. Well, I cannot be bothered going back and doing that again. So there we are. It repeats until counter becomes 4. There we are. Pause the video. Right, the fixed loop needed to add up the numbers above. And then as a bit of practice, do a structured diagram and a flowchart. If we're doing this during live class, undoubtedly I could imagine that's going to take some time. So you just have to go with what the teacher says at the time. Pause the video, write out the loop. And here's our loop. Total equals 0. For counter equals 1 to length of age. Set total to total plus age counter. Next. And that's going to add up 23, 56, 12, 45, 90, 49 and 10. There's 7 values, so the length of age will be 7. If you have done. If you had time to do the structure diagram flowchart, post it to your teacher to let them see it. Once again, pause the video, write out the fixed loop needed to add up the numbers above. And if you've got time, do the flowchart and the structure diagram. Here we go, total equals 0, counter is 1 to length, number of hits, do set total to total plus number of hits counter. Next. Last but not least, pause the video, write out the fixed loop needed to add up the numbers above. And if you've got time, do the structure diagram and the flowchart. And here's the number again. Total is 0. Counter equals 1 to left of degrees. Set total to total plus degrees counter. Next. And by the looks of it, because there's only 3 nice wee numbers there, that's 450 plus 33 plus 450 is 483 plus 23, I think, is 506.